Lin Chen traveled to the world of Terja Ultraman and received a sexy and beautiful imperial sister's wife. However, on the night of his wedding, he accidentally touched his wife's shape-shifting device. Ding! Host and Carmilla get married, the favored wife system awakens, newbie gift pack. Truth God light stick. I'm super. My wife is Sister Ka. That's really amazing. At the beginning, transform into a true form of Diga that combines the power of light and darkness, and strike Trega hard. But how can the footsteps of a beloved wife stop moving forward? Ding! Host bathes Carmilla, obtains Noah Hellfire, complete set of Universal Phantom Fist. Ding! The host's stir-frying of Carmilla makes her feel happy, gaining the power of Aurora, Saga Plasma, Spark Legend, Noah's Wings. The hammer of the king, the unlimited gloves of the wheel-eye devil fruit slashing soul blade, everything belongs to Lin Chen's hand. Carmilla rolled her eyes and said, "Husband, don't spoil him too much. He's going to faint soon." Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. My Grass Mira. Seeking Collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Earth, the most luxurious hotel in the Neon City, is bustling with activity. Figures with names and surnames from all walks of life were present in person. All of this is because of a wedding. As the banquet was about to end, Lin Chen looked around with emotion. Unexpectedly, after crossing over, he could still get married. No mistake. He is a traveler. 2.5 years ago, he had just finished reviewing the evolution of the Taro metamaterial and the Tsangyue at home, and was about to go to some pink software to check out the Monster Mother notebook when he suddenly fainted. After waking up, I found myself in another world. The body is still one's own, only with an additional layer of identity. The owner of a luxurious Chinese restaurant. I thought I was going to live my daily life, until I saw organizations called TPU and Elite Victory Team on the internet and discovered that humans have started to inhabit Mars. As a seasoned arcade enthusiast, Lin Chen couldn't possibly not know that he had traveled through the world of Terja Ultraman. Although it sounds great. But in reality, ordinary people in this world of tokusatsu are like ants. With just one step of the monster, you become a meat patty. After waiting for a long time, he didn't see any awakening of his golden finger. Mom sells batches, and the promised walkers must have golden fingers. Fortunately, I paid a few thousand yuan in a certain lieu, all of which are 12-star members. That's what Lin Chen said at the time. He, who accepted his fate, found a way to establish a relationship with Jingjian Guangua based on his knowledge of monsters. Through the internet, I also reached out to Superman Smarrow, who lives on Mars, and truly understood the sword. There's no way, let's hug our thighs in advance. When Lin Chen felt like this was the end of his life, one day he found an unconscious woman in a small alley. He took her home and bandaged the woman. At first, the other party woke up with a strong sense of vigilance and even hostility. But as the two became more familiar, the woman also opened up to him. Originally, her name was Sakashi, the president of a particularly large company, just like the female CEO in the novel. I just fainted in that alley because of something. Although Lin Chen felt that the name was somewhat familiar, he didn't think much about it. Afterwards, Kamasaka Jean often came to his restaurant for meals, and over time, the two of them developed feelings for each other. In 2.5 years, they got used to each other's lives, finally entered the palace of marriage. Lin Chen, congratulations to you. It's just a pity. I was originally thinking of having Jia Ming and you try it out. After all, Jia Ming's girl will become uncomfortable when she hears your name, hahaha. Jingjian Guang spoke in Mandarin with a hint of regret. However, this is only on the surface. Damn it, who would have thought that their cabbage would be hogged? Although my daughter has not yet met Lin Chen, But he knows how handsome Lin Chen is. Naming is definitely not acceptable. He was really afraid that after becoming famous and falling, he would give all the hard-earned assets he had accumulated to Lin Chen with both hands. Next to him, Jian Wu, who had specifically rushed from Mars, smiled and pointed to his dimple. Lin Chen, congratulations. This is the Martian plant I brought with me. Remember what I said. Smilu Smilu. And there's also the little flower boy, you also want Smilu. The little flower boy named by him hid behind Lin Chen in fear and said, Big brother, why is this person like a fool? Zhenzhong Jianwu. Lin Chen suppressed his smile and glanced at the guests sitting below. Well, as expected, their gaze towards Jianwu was as if they were looking at an intellectually disabled child. Although this kid is not bad, he always talks about Smilu when there is something to do. It wasn't until later that it improved. I chatted for a while. They left. After all, Guanghua is very busy. Jianwu came from Mars again, and if it's too late, he won't be able to catch today's spaceship to go back. Lin Chen swiped his card into the private elevator, went up to the top floor, and arrived at a luxurious decorated large floor. Just because Lin Chen came here to eat and casually said that the scenery was good. Uzaka Jin bought this hotel directly and gave it to him. The top floor has been transformed into their home. I can also be considered a winner in life, can I? Lin Chen rubbed his nose. Then, looking at the closed master bedroom door, he walked in with a burning gaze. At the moment he saw the person sitting in bed, Lin Chen's heart unconsciously missed a beat. The woman was dressed in a red ancient-style wedding dress, with a phoenix crown and xia pei. Her long black hair was rolled up, making her look elegant and luxurious. However, her cold and charming face made her appear so charming. The figure is perfect to the extreme, especially in the post-stocking department, with a perfect proportion. It can be said that just standing alone can ignite a flame in a man's heart. And such a woman has actually become her own wife. Lin Chen, have all the guests left? Uzaka Jin asked shyly in a soft voice. My heart is filled with emotions. I didn't expect that one day she could still get married. And still with a human. A sentence exposed something beyond measure. Just these things, Lin Chen had no way of knowing. He lifted Uzaka Jin's cheek. Husband. Uzaka Jin's gaze gradually blurred. Hugging Lin Chen with both hands. At this moment, Lin Chen frowned. What is hard? He certainly knew that he was not marrying a little girl. So he lowered his head to look. In front of Uzaka Jin, there was actually a gold-rimmed necklace set with black gemstones. What is this? Lin Chen always feels a bit familiar. A hint of panic appeared in Kamasaka Kinmei's eyes and she quickly took off her necklace. This. I bought it before, so I got married today and put it on. Does it look good? It looks good. Lin Chen nodded. Uzaka Jin suddenly breathed a sigh of relief in her heart. It's so close. Because I was too excited, I accidentally exposed it. This thing can be considered as her transformation tool. After becoming a human, as long as it stimulates its power, it can change back to its original posture. Let's consider it as the author's second design, but in the original work, when Carmilla transforms from a human form again, it is indeed the necklace that first exudes a dark aura. Throw the necklace towards the bedside and grab Lin Chen's collar. Don't look at the necklace, you should look at me, right? Today, I belong to you completely. Lin Chen's nose caught a hot breath and rushed forward. Omit the content of VIP unlocking with 1 million words here. Time has arrived on the second day. What rises in the morning is not necessarily the sun, and what gets wet in the morning is not necessarily the leaves. Lin Chen woke up. Uzaka Jin is still asleep. Looking at his wife's lovely sleeping face, Lin Chen's heart was filled with unprecedented satisfaction. Just if it weren't for a touch of red plum blossoms on the bed. He suspected that Uzaka Jean was an old driver. Surprisingly, they were on par with him the first time. Terrifying. He walked into the kitchen. I plan to cook some food for Jean. Although she may have eaten enough last night. Don't ask Sakamoto what she ate. Suddenly. Ding. Congratulations to the host and Carmilla for marrying and transforming her into your shape. The pet wife system has been successfully activated. Lin Chen suddenly lifted his head. My grass, Carmilla. Chapter 2, Come Out, Golba. Seeking evaluation votes. You are listening at novelfull.audio. No. My wife is actually Carmilla. Lin Chen is completely confused now. Gently push open the bedroom door and take a glance at the sleeping beauty inside. Upon closer inspection, there was indeed a hint of shadow from the original work. He had thought it was just a coincidence that it looked similar. It's not his fault either. After all, this is reality, and now Mira has transformed into a human posture, which is much more beautiful than in the original work. If it weren't for the system, he might never have known for a lifetime. It is precisely because of the system. Lin Chen found out that the dark giants would also turn red the first time, and even. Anyway, he had to change the sheets later, otherwise it would be like a wet cloth. He never thought of regretting it. It's better to say that this kind of thing can't be good at all. This is the demonic warrior Carmilla. How many arcane fans in the previous life didn't even support Ultraman? They shouted to their wives, abandoning the light and turning to the dark. Well, the most crucial thing now is still this system. Lin Chen excitedly asked, System, what functions do you have? Answer the host, this system is a pet wife system. As long as the host dotes on their wife, they can receive any rewards, and defeating enemies can also earn system points to exchange for various things. Ding. The system mall has been opened. Ding. The host discusses life with Carmilla, bringing her happiness, triggering his beloved wife's critical strike, and receiving rewards. Diga statue, ultimate arcane energy, and dark victory light stick. The host triggers the reward for the first time, and the newbie gift package is greatly enhanced. The reward is upgraded to Truth Divine Light Stick, similar to Truth Trega, a transformation prop that combines the dual light and dark powers of Diga and Dark Diga, and can be transformed into Truth Diga. Infinite Energy, Dark Trega Metal, can summon an illusion with the same strength as the Master to fight contemporary battles. Sleeping Slot. Triggering the critical strike of Pet Wife for the first time, surprisingly, it can still sublimate 10,000 times. This beginner gift pack is amazing. Just is this critical strike really serious? Shaking his head, Lin Chen focused his attention on the reward he had drawn. Truth Shining Stick. This kind of thing can be pulled out. You should know that when truthful Trega appeared, Lin Chen thought about whether Digia could also have a form of truth. However, such a Diga never had a chance to make an appearance. I didn't expect that one day he would receive the Truth Shining Stick. You should know. It's not an exaggeration to say that Digia and Terja are separated by clouds and mud. The former was a super ancient king 30 million years ago. The true king of darkness. After dedicating oneself to the light, one can even achieve the goal of kicking the demon god to death with just one kick. It seems that like Noah, he likes to leave his own sized figurines in various universes. These two forces blend together. Hush. Lin Chen couldn't help but take a deep breath. How strong is he meowing? It's not impossible to approach the shining form directly. Next second. Lin Chen felt a vast energy infused into his body, half from yin to darkness, and the other half giving a gentle feeling like a spring breeze. His strength, vision, and even every cell had reached a different level of life. It's not an exaggeration to say that he can even turn over King Red with just one punch, even if he doesn't transform now. Infinite energy goes without saying. You should know that even Noah, in the manga, Dream War, was forced to become a juvenile like Nexter after using all his energy to release Noah Final and seal Dark Zaki. This is enough to demonstrate the importance of energy. With infinite energy, even if he continues to output 2.5 years of Zai Pei Li Ao light, it will not be empty. The last one. The Dark Trega Metal. Surprisingly, it is possible to summon a Dark Trega with the same strength as our master to come out for contemporary combat. Think about it, with just a wave of your hand, the figure of Dark Trega appeared, like a little brother helping you with your hand. The power grid was instantly full. System, open the character panel and take a look. Name. Lin Chen, Identity. Righteous Diga, Skills. Truth Perio Light, Truth Special Timer Flash, Truth Burst, Truth Destruction, Truth Ultra High Heat Blast, Truth Cell Conversion Beam, Truth 4 Rows of Shum Light, Truth Ultra High Mindfulness, Truth Palm Lightsaber, Props. Truth God Light Stick, Dark Trega Metal. Looking at the dazzling names, Lin Chen was in a happy mood. This wave of rewards is amazing. The next second, the bedroom door is opened. Kamasaka Jean rubbed her eyes, and at the moment she saw Lin Chen, her beautiful eyes immediately burst into endless tenderness. So it's really not Lin Chen's fault. With this contrast, who would believe it was the Dark Queen who killed Ultraman without blinking an eye? Good morning, Chen, said Kamasaka Jean with a smile. Lin Chen frowned with a wicked smile and said, do you still call that name? Uzaka Jean was taken aback for a moment, and 2 blushes appeared on her cheeks. Her ears were slightly flushed, and she unconsciously lowered her head. It looks like a newlywed little woman. After being coy for a while, Kamasaka Jean softly shouted, husband. This sound made Lin Chen's whole body tingle with excitement. Come and eat quickly. I made red date soup to nourish my body. Aha! Kamasaka Jean sat in the restaurant. Holding his face in his hands, he looked at the man busy in the kitchen with a foolish expression. She really didn't expect to marry a human one day. After being sealed by Trega, it should have been sealed for a long time. I don't know why the seal suddenly lifted, but her energy hasn't fully recovered yet. Just as she was filled with anger and wanted to go to Earth to seek revenge against Trega, her energy ran out. Without the dark energy, she was forced to become a human and passed out in a coma. I woke up to find myself picked up by Lin Chen. She, who was extremely proud of humanity, initially disdained being taken care of by Lin Chen. However, Lin Chen's thoughtful care, cooking and eating for her every day, and caring about her health. All of these made this proud queen feel warmth she had never felt before. She fell into this tenderness. Even in order to stay by Lin Chen's side, she fulfilled all the lies about starting her own company. Her apparent identity now is that of the president of a listed company. Just kidding. She has the power of darkness. Don't say it's this anymore. Becoming the ruler of a country is simple and straightforward. Looking at Lin Chen's busy figure, Uzaka Jean felt as if her somewhere was filled up. Her identity must not be exposed. If Lin Chen were to know that she was the Carmilla who brought disaster to the world 30 million years ago, Lin Chen would definitely run away in fear and leave her behind. In that case, it's better to let her die. Now thinking about it, it seems that I don't have any special feelings for Trega, and there hasn't even been intimate contact between the two. It feels like having a pet. But pets betray themselves, which is also unforgivable. Trega. She wants to find Trega and eliminate him. Uzaka Jean didn't do this for herself, she had already let go of that hatred. More importantly, it is to erase one's own dark history, wholeheartedly dedicate oneself to Lin Chen, and not let anyone disturb their happy life. That's her goal. A few days ago, she sensed the breath of Trega on Mars. Uzaka Jin's beautiful eyes became cold and gloomy. After eating, Kamasaka Jin changed into an OL uniform, with long curled hair and a pair of gold-framed glasses, like a cold and domineering female CEO who emerged from a novel. She gave Lin Chen a kiss. "Dear, I'll go ahead and get busy. There are still many things to do for the company. By the way, you were very tired yesterday, weren't you? Don't open a shop today. I bought the delicious coffee shop you mentioned that day. You can go there and play." Lin Chen was taken aback. Good guy. He just casually said that the coffee was good that day, and Sakamoto bought it for him there. If there were a pet husband system, it would probably take Uzaka Jin in less than a month to become a mysterious 4-level existence, right? I see, you go ahead and get busy. Aha. Uzaka Jin left the door. But Lin Chen knew that she wasn't going to any company. Ding. You bid farewell to Carmilla and trigger the favorite wife reward. Strength plus 13, speed plus 30, defense plus 23, system points plus 33. Is there a reward here? Lin Chen was overjoyed. Immediately, my eyes narrowed. After waiting for 10 minutes, I followed out the door. At the same time. Mars Plant Research Center. My little baby, you grow up quickly. Smilu smilu. Jianwu looked at the new product he had cultivated with a silly smile. Suddenly, he remembered the dream he had in the morning. After attending Lin Chen's wedding, he went to bed early, but soon dreamed of a woman with white hair appearing in front of him. Tell him, you are both light and darkness. What exactly does this mean? Forget it, it's just a dream. I have more important things to do. Jianwu looked at the time. In order to cultivate plants on Mars, the soil brought back from Earth alone is not enough. He must have deep soil on Mars. Immediately, he changed into his clothes. Just like in the original work, she followed behind while her mother, Shinaka Rina, followed Jingjian Guangua to excavate the newly excavated super-ancient underground ruins. What he doesn't know is, danger is coming soon. On the other side, Kamasaka Jin stood on a rock, her eyes cold. I found you, Trega. Suddenly, a black and red energy surged out of her body, enveloping her. In the blink of an eye, she transformed into another posture. The whole body is striped with gold and white lines, with ribbons draped over the shoulders. The golden eyes curl up, revealing a charming and cool beauty. This is the true face of Uzaka Jin. Demon warrior, Carmira. She waved her hand wide. Come out, Golba. Chapter 3. The Coming of Righteous Diga. Like a fallen angel. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Roar. A monster with both Gorzon and Melba characteristics, like a monster stitched together appearing from a towering black and red beam of light. The workers who were busy outside the ruins suddenly looked panicked. Quick, run. The monster has appeared. No, why do monsters appear on Mars? What's the use of saying so much? Hurry up and go to the shelter. Like ants on a hot pot, running around aimlessly. Within the ruins. Jingjian Guangua held the tablet handed over by his assistant and saw the surveillance footage, just wanted to say take refuge. Boom. The ruins were shaken violently by Golba. Suddenly, a huge stone fell from above. Sword Wu, who was secretly following behind, suddenly panicked and screamed. Just as it was about to hit him. A layer of transparent energy suddenly appeared on Jianwu's head, bouncing the stone away. Nanny. This scene caught the attention of Jingjian Guangua, who had been attracted by his voice and looked straight ahead. Is this child selected by the light? Jianwu. Why are you here? Didn't I tell you to stay in the plant research center honestly? Zhenzhong Lina quickly ran over and scolded. Jianwu looked apologetic and said, I'm sorry mom, I just want to dig some soil from the ruins to cultivate plants. Speaking and speaking. We don't know why he laughed. Don't be angry, mom. Look, Smurlo dot. Junjom Lena. Dot. The child she picked up is good everywhere, but her brain is a bit abnormal. Let's go to the shelter quickly. Jingjian Guangua said at this moment. The group arrived at the shelter in the ruins. Suddenly, Jingjian Guangua approached Jinwu. Young man, do you believe in light? After some communication, Jingjian Guangua recognized the person, mane, gu, horn, mei, light, li, ring, of Jianwu and handed him the victory god light stick and a blank transcendent key. At the same time. On the other side. On the rooftop of a tall building. The handsome man gazed at Golba with a helpless smile. Carmilla has indeed come here. He knew that Carmilla must not have come here because she couldn't let go of Trega, but simply wanted to put an end to this matter and not let anyone disturb her and her life. This foolish woman. Moreover, it seems that due to Carmira breaking the seal earlier than in the original work, the timeline for the start of the Talga plot has been much earlier. At the beginning of the original plot, it was obvious that the ruins had been mined for some time, and Jingjian Guangua and his team had almost figured out the contents inside. A few days ago, Lin Chen read the news that the ruins had just been discovered. The plot was advanced by a few months, let alone a few months. Now on Zeta's side, perhaps they have just started to empathize with Yao Hui, right? When thinking this way. Suddenly. Bang! A burst of light suddenly rose. A huge figure intertwined with purple, silver, gold, and red appeared. It is the sword enlightenment that transforms into Trega. Because Carmilla did not go to the ruins to find the statue of Terja like in the original work, the transformation process of Jianwu was still very smooth. Trega immediately rushed towards Golba. Roar! Golba noticed him and immediately roared. Melba's eyes above his head immediately fired countless flame bombs, spectacular like dozens of meteorites, bombing Trega. Countless flames shot up into the sky, and Trega's figure was soon drowned in the flames. The cries of pain echoed into the ears of the people of the Kingdom of Silent Light. Let Chenjong Lina feel heartbroken. Then, the wings behind Golba spread out, flapping and rushing towards Trega. He, who had just stood up, was knocked out again and fell heavily to the ground, creating a large crater on the surface of Mars. Immediately, almost without stopping for a moment, Golba once again fired countless flame bombs. The explosion caused burns of varying sizes to appear all over Trega's body. I won't lose because my dream makes people all over the world smile. Trega quickly threw a few blue and white light bullets with his right hand. Trega's palm light arrow. Sila. Hitting Golba, sparks burst out throughout its body. However, this did not cause much harm to Golba, but instead angered it. Roar. Golba opened his bloody mouth, accompanied by a deafening roar of yellow destructive light. Ultrasound light. Trega was caught off guard by this blow, and as he was about to raise the barrier with both hands, he was hit like a red-purple shell flying backwards, shattering several Martian mountains. Golba pursued with victory. Trega engages in a close combat with it. Suddenly. Trega was like a different person, from being beaten at the beginning to hitting Golba in the opposite direction. It's not because of cheating, it's just because he's familiar with his body. Kick Golba out with one kick. Continuing. He stretched out his hands and slowly pulled, and a white line of light suddenly appeared, condensing the energy. His hands formed an L shape, about to release the moment of the deadly skill light. Trega, long time no see. A cold and beautiful voice sounded beside me. Then, Trega was kicked over and his energy output was directly interrupted. Coming, it's the massive Carmilla. Looking at the extremely disheveled Trega at this moment, there was no fanaticism, no love, only disgust and coldness. It's really not as good as her family Chen no matter where she looks. Thinking of my own husband. Carmilla's whole body became hot and dry again. Hurry up and finish the task, go back and replenish your husband's energy. Thinking this way, Carmilla unconsciously revealed a charming smile. At the moment he saw her, Trega had a headache. A memory suddenly surged into my mind. Trega murmured, "Carmilla." Carmilla snorted coldly, "You don't deserve to call my name. There is only one person in this world who can call her by name, and that is Lin Chen. Pull out the light whip." Suddenly thrust at Trega, with a whistling sound of breaking through the air. This light whip is not an ordinary light whip, but a condensed dark energy of Carmira. You can imagine how painful it is to pull it on your body. Trega was beaten back and forth, with sparks constantly splashing out from his body, and even several cracks being pulled out, from which light particles burst out. Carmilla grabbed Trega's neck. "Golba, kill him!" Roar. When Golbaden opened his mouth, a massive amount of energy converged and burst out ultrasonic light. Meanwhile, Melba's eyes erupted with dozens of flame bombs. Trega's pupils shrank, and a force burst out of her body from somewhere, breaking free from Carmilla. "I will never lose, ah 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 ah." A brilliant light burst out from the whole body, and in the moment when the hands formed an L-shaped shape, a thick white light burst out instantly, and wherever it went, the earth was cracked. The huge energy fluctuations made Carmilla's expression change. What? The attacks of Golba and Trega are about to collide. Little did they know. There is a pair of eyes watching all of this. Lin Chen murmured to himself. "Trega, what have you protected yourself from?" "However, I'm sorry, my wife. Trega can't die yet. He is not the Virgin Mary, and Trega doesn't care if he dies or not. However, the current Tregak can still provide him with system points. The show has begun. Extend your hand." Accompanied by the emergence of golden and purple energies, they converged towards Lin Chen's hands and eventually formed a prop, Truth Shining Stick. It's not much different from an ordinary divine light stick, it's just that the upper part has become half gold and half black. Representing the two powers of Diga and Dark Diga. As he holds high the rod of truth and divine light. Next second. Bang! Like energy that can destroy the sky and the earth, it suddenly forms in the sky. The golden and purple energy interweaves into the shape of a spiral galaxy, blocking the clouds and blocking the sun. A golden-purple energy beam descended on the ground, and a terrifying wave swept out, sweeping everything around. Even Trega and Carmilla unconsciously blocked their hands in front of them, causing their bodies to involuntarily retreat backwards. As the light dissipates, the slender figure interwoven with 4 colors of gold, purple, silver, and red caught everyone's eye. Trega's body color is almost identical to theirs, except that the visitor's body and face are adorned with black stripes. The combination of divinity and evil makes him appear like a fallen angel. This is, Truth, Diga. Carmilla sensed the light and dark aura he emitted, and her gaze was filled with a strong shock. "Who are you?" Truth Diga, Lin Chen, slowly turned his head. Truth, Diga. The appearance of righteous Diga refers to righteous Trega. Chapter 4. Summoning Dark Trega, Carmirat. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Jinzhong Lina looked at Jingjian Guangua, who suddenly trembled all over, and asked in confusion, "President. What's wrong with you?" Jingjian Guangua glanced at her. Then he shifted his gaze to the distant Truth Diga. What's going on? Damn it, who can tell him why Diga appeared here? And what's wrong with this black stripe? Stupid. Jingjian Guangua is completely confused. You should know that Jingjian Guangua has crossed over from the world of Digia. How could he not recognize this familiar figure that could no longer be familiar with? It's not Digia, who else can it be? Can it be said that like him, Digia has also traveled to this dimension? Just, what's wrong with the black stripes on this body? Various questions arise in the heart of Jingjian Guangua. The light released by Trega, accompanied by the energy fluctuations generated by the transformation of righteous Diga, was directly shattered. Carmilla gazed at righteous Diga, her pupils contracting rapidly, sensing his majestic energy. Her face was filled with an incredulous expression, and her seductive and beautiful eyes stared wide open. She actually sensed both light and dark attributes on this Ultraman. How could this be possible? You should know that light and darkness are incompatible like water and fire. Not to mention appearing on one person at the same time. How could she not be shocked by such an incredible thing? Especially after perceiving the energy emanating from the true Diga, her heart stirred up waves of turmoil. Carmilla has never seen such pure light and darkness before. The person on the other side is simply like. Light and darkness themselves are as terrifying. She reacted. Truth. What a big breath. Golba, give me a hand. Roar. Golba's body instantly erupted with terrifying energy, and his head and mouth once again spewed out flames and ultrasonic light. Wherever he went, the earth was torn apart, and the temperature in the entire area seemed to have increased several times. Golba's blow was truly devastating. At the same time, Carmilla mobilized the dark energy inside her body and pushed out a red light wrapped in black lightning with both hands. Carmilla's finger sparks. Her strongest ultimate skill. Sensing the terrifying energy fluctuations, Trega instinctively exclaimed, "Be careful." If he was hit head-on by this blow, he would definitely have died on the spot. Just. Righteous Diga only glanced sideways. Lift a hand as indifferent as a deity. A golden ball of light entwined with purple dark energy lightning suddenly condensed. Truth palm light arrow. The ball of light shot out, shattering the terrifying attacks of Golba and Carmilla in an instant. In the moment they were hit by this sphere, a huge flame burst into the sky, and Golba was directly shattered into fragments. Thick smoke rolled and scattered like clouds, and the shattered golden-purple energy aftershocks piled up like shockwaves, lifting countless pieces of gravel and dust. Carmilla couldn't control herself and stumbled back a few steps. Ding! The host defeats the ancient dark monster Golba and gains 2,000 system points. Coincidentally, the energy aftershocks swept through Terja, causing sparks to burst out from him and fly backwards. Just the residual energy emitted by a casual blow dealt a heavy blow to Trega. Carmilla looked at the truth Diga with an expression full of disbelief and shock. Who the hell is he? Why have you never heard of such a number one person before? If I had seen him during the ancient times, I'm afraid there wouldn't have been their Dark Four group back then. And for some reason, she always felt that this light and dark giant had a very similar energy aura to Trega. Well, classic dad looks like a son. If it were before, even if she knew the other party was strong, she would definitely charge forward. This is the pride in the heart of the Dark Queen. Just now, if there is an injury on my body, it's not easy to explain it to my husband when I go home. For the sake of Lin Chen, Carmilla can compromise to this extent. Humph, no matter who you are, I remember you. Wait for her strength to recover, and then we'll see. Then, a black and red mist of dark energy emerged throughout her body, disappearing with Carmilla in place. Are you? Trega looked nervously at Righteous Diga. Suddenly, Righteous Diga punches out. Trega's pupils contracted and he quickly put his arms in front of him. But even so, with a punch from the truth Diga, a whistling sound broke through the air, instantly causing Trega to shoot out like a missile, shattering several mountains and falling to the ground in agony. What are you doing, oh dot? Righteous Diga chuckled inwardly. He struck at Trega. It's because of the sound from the system just now. Ding. Host triggers pet wife reward. Strength plus 13, defense plus 25. How can we harvest such a big leak without proper harvesting? Of course, the main reason is that as a husband, how can we not teach this disobedient pet a lesson for his wife? Is it an enemy? Then don't blame me. Trega's arms pulled and he let out a roar, and his arms instantly burst out with a beam of light from the sky. Just as he confidently felt that this blow would make Truth Diga wait seriously. Trega's expression instantly became shocking. To be precise, it was terrifying. How? How could it be? Righteous Diga calmly extended a hand, letting the light of Zai Paleo bombard the palm of his hand. This is enough to bring Golba a heavy blow of light, as the light falls on it like a jet of water spraying on the copper and iron walls, transforming into small white light particles that splash out. Righteous Diga approached Trega calmly. Suddenly, a golden-purple light ball was thrown out of my hand again. Trega's pupils contract instantly. At this moment, Shwa! A ray of light broke through the ground and fell into the hands of Trega. Only then could one see its true face clearly. That is a red, purple, and white weapon, like a huge pair of scissors, arm of the ring. Trega's exclusive weapon. Roar! A hint of playfulness flashed in Righteous Diga's eyes. Perceived that their owner was in danger, so did they appear. At the same time, on Terja's side, as soon as he received the arm of the ring, a new memory instantly appeared in his mind, and the instructions for using the weapon were engraved in his mind like instructions. Make Tregadon extremely excited. He looked towards Righteous Diga. It seems that the situation is about to turn around. Everyone smiles, I will guard them. In the subspace, Jinwu stuffed the key of compound transcendence into the arm of the circular ring. Start up. Composite. The massive purple energy instantly condensed on the sword body of the ring arm, and Trega suddenly waved the ring arm. The purple 100-meter slash struck Burton and charged towards the Truth Diga. Zai Paleo, the end of the long sword. Not far away. Carmilla, the size of a human, sneered as she watched the scene. Let's just kill each other like this. She could already imagine the scene where Truth Diga and Trega were both defeated. Just when she thinks so. But it was discovered. The Truth Diga has no action at all. Did you say you were scared out of your wits? Carmilla frowned. On the battlefield. Righteous Diga looked ahead at the blow that could easily kill Golba, expressionless. Enough playing, it's time to end. He extended a hand. In an instant, a thick and intense black and red dark energy suddenly emerged in front of him. As the energy dissipates, a black and gray figure caught everyone's eye, as if wearing black armor, adorned with dark gold decorations, with a fierce face, and that face that was no different from Trega. Dark Trega. In an instant, the eyes of Carmilla, Trega, and all those who saw this scene widened uncontrollably. What? Chapter 5. Uzaka Jin's new hobbies. Petty Wife Critical Strike. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Summoned another Ultraman. Jingjian Guangua and others only felt thunderous, as if they had seen a ghost in broad daylight, incredibly unbelievable. Every cell on my body seems to be trembling. You should know that whether it's Digia or Trigia, for them mortals, they are all species far beyond their life level. It's not an exaggeration to say they are like gods. However, this Digia waved his hand and summoned another black Trega. How could ordinary people not be shocked? How could this be possible? If Carmilla was able to barely maintain her sanity in the past, then now she can be said to have completely lost her composure. I originally thought I would see scenes of Truth Diga and Trega fighting each other. But what she never expected was Righteous Diga summoned the Dark Trega with his backhand. You should know that Terja's strength 30 million years ago could be on par with her as the king of the Dark Giants. However, the Ultraman, who was both light and dark, waved his hand casually and summoned him out. And she can be certain that it is the breath of Dark Trega. Carmilla's rapid breathing and obvious undulations in front of her indicate her inner restlessness at this moment. What kind of person is he? Does he mean that Trega doesn't have the value of his own action yet? This incredible power is simply unheard of. Terja looked at the black giant who appeared in front of Truth Diga and looked exactly like him. Suddenly, he only felt a splitting headache. New memories have emerged. He stared incredulously ahead and pronounced a name. Dark Trega. The corner of Truth Diga's mouth curved slightly and he said, "Watch out for Trega, how Pelio's light is used." Ha! Dark Trega let out a roar like a wild beast, pulling out a deep red line of light from his arms. Then he formed a cross shape with his arms, and the crimson dark rays burst out instantly. Wherever he went, even the space seemed to be stained with blood red. The purple slashing wave that Trega had just swung out was so fragile in front of this light that it was instantly shattered, and then the dark imperial light hit Trega. Boom! The moment of a majestic explosion occurred, and the figure of Trega was submerged, transforming into purple light particles and dissipating. Righteous Diga watched all of this quietly, without sorrow or joy, like a deity towering above. Continuing. Transformed into golden purple particles, they disappeared in place amidst the horrified gazes of Carmilla and others who had not yet regained their senses. Jingjian Guangua regained his senses. Jinwu quickly found Jinwu, who had fainted in a pile of ruins, and took him to the hospital. And, I plan to take him directly back to Earth and join the elite victory team when he wakes up. That should be his true destination. And during this period, the events on Mars caused vibrations throughout the entire Earth. In a luxurious estate mansion, a cute girl wearing JK clothing, Jimingzheng, looks excited as she watches TV. What is playing above is the scene of Truth Diga defeating Golba and Trega. This giant is really handsome. I feel like I'm about to be captivated. Naming is not a flower enthusiast. It's better to say that the appearance of Diga is originally written in the setting. Truth Diga is a combination of light and dark powers, emitting charm that a little girl can withstand. Next to him, little Hikari, also known as Saint Zhang, felt a sense of displeasure in his heart. How could he receive the worship of fame? Unconvinced, he looked at the TV. Saint Zhang tightly clenched his fists and gazed at the back of Truth Diga. Wait. It doesn't matter if he can't become Ultraman. He is the first genius scientist on Earth. Wait for him to take action. He will be the only one who worships by name. Unconsciously, the Saint Zhang people have regarded the Truth Diga as a competitor. On the other side, Carmilla returned to Earth and immediately transformed into a human like Uzaka Jean. Standing at the doorstep. Her face is unpredictable. The unimaginable and terrifying power of the righteous Diga. It has surpassed her cognition. She could tell that this time, the Truth Diga didn't even do much in person. If he releases the attack, Diga and Dark Trega will both be several times stronger together. Perhaps. Even when she had complete strength 30 million years ago, she had to avoid her sharpness. But it's okay. As long as the truth is not interfering with her and Lin Chen's affairs, and the goal is not the eternal core, then it doesn't matter. If it is husband. Even if it means paying any price, I will protect you well. Whoever stands in front of us, I'll kill him. I will make you live a lifetime of happiness. Thinking of her own man, Uzaka Jean restrained her expression, and her stunning face once again burst into endless tenderness. Who could think of her and the cruel Queen Carmilla who appeared on Mars? I'm back, their kitchen is open, and Lin Chen immediately looked up with a gentle smile. Wife, welcome home. Kamasaka Jean walked over and hugged Lin Chen from behind, greedily sniffing the scent on him. I just feel satisfied with my dark energy as if it's about to overflow, and Lin Chen has always liked how Sakamoto treats herself. Every time she does this, he can feel the beauty of those two teams being strong enough to commit a foul. Suddenly, Kamasaka Jean looked at the TV. Discovered that Lin Chen was actually watching today's video on Mars. Her face immediately changed and she said, "Are you very interested in that truth, Diga?" "I feel quite handsome," Lin Chen said with a red face and a calm heart. How could she have imagined that her husband was the one who instantly killed Golba and shattered the truth of Trega, Diga? Well, even if she knows, I won't get angry even if I lose it. Maybe it will be well received. Golba. So I'm also a part of your play, right? He didn't intend to hide it from Uzaka-jin. However, he wanted to wait until he was strong enough. If he were to inform him now, he was really afraid that Carmilla would directly touch the eternal core to make him stronger, and then give his strength to him. Plus, well, my wife didn't even tell me her identity, why is he in a hurry? There is a system cheat on my body, and that day will come. I estimate I won't need it for even a month. I really look forward to my wife's expression at that time. Lin Chen smiled slightly. Humph, that's not as handsome as my husband. But by the way, what do you think of that female dark giant? It seems like she's called Carmilla in the news. When Uzaka-jin asked about this, her heart began to beat wildly. Looking at Lin Chen with anticipation hidden in her beautiful eyes. At the same time, it is accompanied by obvious nervousness. She was very afraid to hear some bad things from Lin Chen's mouth. That's even more uncomfortable than killing her. The dignified Queen of Darkness, now experiencing various psychological fluctuations due to an ordinary, human man, can even be said to be pleasing, and when spoken out, no one will believe it. Lin Chen felt amused in his heart. Isn't Carmilla you? What else are you asking? How else can he evaluate each other even though we both know the root and bottom of it? It can only be said to be very moist. Of course, Lin Chen cannot directly say it. He pretended to be puzzled and thought for a moment. I have a good figure and feel quite sexy. It's the type I like. Uzaka-jin's eyes lit up, and the curve of her mouth that was praised couldn't even suppress a K. And what else? Is there anything else? She's good at using her whip, but I feel like she's a bit arrogant. I just want to use her light whip to whip her. Kumasaka-jin has rapid breathing and a hot nose. I don't know why. When Lin Chen said it, an image unconsciously appeared in her mind. The body unconsciously became hot and dry. I even have a little impulse to give it a try. Her expression changed, and she couldn't escape Lin Chen's eyes. A twitch at the corner of my mouth. He probably didn't let his wife open the door to any new world or unlock any strange hobbies, did he? Is that also not impossible? Husband, if you praise her like this, I would be jealous. We just got married, and you actually praise other women for their good physique in front of me. Lin Chen looked over. Uzaka-jin's eyes were already rippling, like a peach dripping out of water, waiting for people to pick it. Lin Chen's breath froze. Bring Uzaka-jin to the dining table. A few hours passed. Lin Chen, the great hero who successfully defeated the evil female dark giant, is sitting on the sofa watching TV. Suddenly. Ding. Host gains favored wife rewards. Strength plus 32, speed plus 44, system points plus 233. Ding. The host beats Trega to release his wife Carmilla's aura, triggering his beloved wife's critical strike and receiving rewards. Arm of the Ring M87 Light Random Fusion Card. Universe Phantom Fist. Fire Flame Red Dragon Fist Universe Phantom Fist. Electric Shock White Tiger Fist. Lin Chen was taken aback and then ecstatic. Is there any unexpected joy in this? At the same time. On another dimension. In the planet filled with gold, the golden figure standing on the palace slowly opened its tightly closed eyes. He is Tartaros. P.S. The author kneels down to seek support from a series of data such as flowers, review tickets, monthly tickets, tips, and reminders. If they can reach 1,000 flowers and 100 review tickets on the first day, even if the author dies suddenly, they will explode more than 10 chapters for everyone. Chapter 6. Sister Ka. I want to offer the power of Trega. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Tartaros tightly covered his chest with his hand. Why? Starting from a few days ago, he always felt uneasy inside. The massive conspiracy is now halfway through, and he has successfully abducted Princess Julian. The next step is to use her as a hostage and force those Ultramen to surrender the Kingdom of Light. Everything is so smooth. Just. He still feels uneasy. He really doesn't like this feeling. Intuition tells him that something must be done. Tartaros propped up a golden temporal gate with both hands. Narek. Then, slowly walked in. The Trega universe. Lin Chen felt excited because of the system prompt he just heard. The circular arm, the weapon of Trega, has a good record in battle. M87 Light, the proud skill of the Flame-Head Team Changsha Fulin, can reach a miraculous temperature of 870,000 degrees Celsius. It is said that they almost destroyed the Kingdom of Light. Just, what is this random fusion card? Lin Chen summoned the system panel and opened the comment. Random fusion card. After use, characters from other storylines will merge into the host's current universe, but there may be some changes. It's a bit interesting, so just use it. Ding. Successfully used. Just so confident. Who else can he be afraid of, even though he has a shining rod of truth? Moreover, perhaps he can bring in some powerful monsters, so that he can also obtain more system points. Lin Chen's gaze fell on the last two rewards. My eyes suddenly became incredibly hot. Cosmic Phantom Fist. You should know, this is the strongest martial arts in the universe that Leo, the Fighting King, has personally admitted, surpassing the martial arts he has practiced. Collect all 5 types and release the Phantom Beast Overlord Fist. Directly hit Diablo. You should know that no matter how you say it, Little Taurus is one of the 4 major combat forces of the Absolute Clan, the ultimate life form, just like Tartaros. The power of the 5-colored Phantom Beast Overlord Fist can be imagined. Not to mention the 6 colors. Having a system, it's not too easy for him to gather the 6-colored Phantom Beast Overlord Fist. Lin Chen's heart is beating wildly. Suddenly, a massive amount of information flooded into his mind. Red Dragon and Golden Tiger roared, flames and lightning flickered, making his physical fitness seem to have reached a different level. Digesting the information in his mind, Lin Chen couldn't believe it. The Fire Flame Red Dragon Fist and Electric Shock White Tiger Fist he received were more than 10 times stronger than Regulus's. A reliable Grandmaster level. What does Grandmaster level mean? It's clear from the Regulus web drama. As a master of the Universal Phantom Fist, Master Lei Ting unleashes the power to break through the Bull Fist, and with just one punch, he can destroy the fleet of Magma Commander. I don't know how much stronger than Little Taurus. I guess Leo and Astron can't even catch up. This is the Grandmaster level. My Fire Flame Red Dragon Fist, I estimate that regardless of temperature or power, it can easily surpass M87 Light. Lin Chen fell into joy. This round of lucky draws. Great. At this moment. Husband. Uzaka Kane rubbed her eyes and woke up. Looking at Lin Chen's eyes, they were filled with shock. Even if she is in a human state now, her physique is no different from Superman for ordinary humans. But her husband could easily handle her like this, leaving her exhausted and unable to resist falling asleep. You truly deserve to be my husband. What should I do? I love you even more. She used to despise things like humans. I think it's something that only low-level life can do. But now. Well, it smells so good. Husband, you can never leave me. Fool, how could I possibly leave you? I will stay by your side for the rest of my life. In an instant, Kamasaka Jin's heart was filled with honey. Just a sudden hint of darkness flashed by. A lifetime. She is a dark giant, and her lifespan can be said to be eternal. And her husband is an ordinary human. The lifespan of humans is very short for them, almost passing in the blink of an eye. What should I do to make Chen stay by my side forever? Uzaka Jin has a myriad of thoughts. Suddenly. What did she think of? By the way. Isn't this just a ready-made solution? Darling, wait for me, I'll be right back. Leaving such a sentence, Uzaka Jin put on her clothes and immediately hurriedly left the door. Lin Chen smiled but remained silent. He knew that Uzaka Jin was definitely not busy with any company matters. Well, wife, could you please push the plot forward quickly so that my husband can have more opportunities to spoil you? As Lin Chen said. Uzaka Jin's statement about the company is a lie. She transformed into Carmilla and immediately flew towards the universe. After passing through several light years and for a while, I finally caught my eye on a planet. Landing on top, in front of her, is a humanoid statue with its head inverted into the ground. Dagong, I finally found you. Carmilla said lightly. Now a truth Diga has appeared on Earth, she needs more help. Of course, her current purpose has completely changed. She didn't care about revenge or anything about Trega for a long time. Lin Chen is ultimately just an ordinary human with a lifespan of only a short 100 years. She wants to be by Lin Chen's side forever. That's right, she wants to take away the power of Trega and offer it to her dear Chen. In this way, with the power of Ultraman, Lin Chen's lifespan is no longer a problem. Carmilla can achieve this level for Lin Chen. Just how did she know the power of Trega is for Lin Chen? It's almost no different from a child's toy. She pulled out the light whip. Draw at the Dagong statue. Bang! The outer skin was shattered, and Dagong snorted and shook his head. He, who has been sealed for 30 million years, is very confused. Give me some clarity. Carmilla kicked him out with a cold kick. After such a kick, Dagong finally came to his senses. Carmilla. Where am I? Carmilla said coldly, haven't you woken up yet? Now on Earth, besides Trega, a new enemy has emerged, and the strength of Trega is even more terrifying. For Lin Chen, she is a petite wife. But when facing others, she is still the proud Dark Queen. Dagong quickly asked, Nanny. Who is it? Righteous Diga. Carmilla told Dagong in detail about what happened on Mars. Dagong's eyes were instantly filled with excitement and heat. Can I finally fight against the strong again? Don't worry, Carmilla. I will use these fists to send the truth Diga to hell. Carmilla nodded. Although truth Diga is strong, he may not necessarily be able to compete with Dagong in close combat. No one knows better than her how abnormal Dagong's supernatural power is. Otherwise, why do you think Dagong could have been called a tough fighter in the ancient times, where there were so many powerful warriors, 30 million years ago? How many monsters and even giants cannot withstand 2 punches in Dagong's hands? Carmilla's eyes flickered with a dangerous light and she let out a cold and charming laugh. He, this time, I want to see how much you have. The words are divided into 2 parts. Jianwu has successfully joined the elite victory team with the recommendation of Jingjian Guangua. Within the base. Watching Sword Wu quickly chatting with everyone, Saint Zhang's teeth were almost crushed. If only he had obtained the power of a giant. Suddenly. Buzz. The alarm sounds. Maluru immediately called up the surveillance footage. I saw a monster with blue thorns all over its body, a blue back, a gray belly, and a big horn on its head, jumping out of the sea and crazily destroying the coast. This is Carmilla. Thank you for your flower review ticket support. Sincerely, readers can receive a monthly pass of 18,535. A big 100 VIP reward. Chapter 7. Mighty fighter Dagong, unparalleled monster power. The universe. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Maluru said with a panicked expression. This is the vampire monster Carmilla, with the ability to turn humans into monsters, and its horns can also unleash terrifying attacks. Zhenzhong team member, Saint team member, and Jingjian team member, you guys go evacuate the crowd. Chisa, you remotely control the Victory Falcon to deploy. As the captain, Chen Xiqing immediately ordered. Yes. Several people immediately set off separately. Jianwu slipped alone to a deserted place, took out the Victory Light Stick, and transformed into Trega to appear. Just put it in position. Roar. Carmilla's tongue immediately shot out and wrapped around Terja, making it impossible for him to break free. Then it suddenly swung hard towards the side. Boom. Trega immediately smashed towards the other side like a meteor hammer, instantly creating a large crater on the ground. Bang bang bang. That's not all, Carmilla is heading in another direction, back and forth, making Trega feel like his brain has been shaken into water. Trega quickly mobilized his energy in his hand and cut off Carmilla's tongue with a hand knife. Roar. The latter immediately let out a scream of agony. This action will completely anger it. A red light burst out from the corner of Carmilla's head, and with a roar, a blue electric current attack burst out instantly. Sila. Trega's body suddenly burst into intense flames and fell to the ground. Just about to get up. Carmilla rushed towards him again, each step as terrifying as triggering an 8-magnitude earthquake. The blood-red light shining on the corners of his head pierced through Trega's shoulder, piercing through a big hole that made Trega scream uncontrollably. Then, with Carmilla's added power, he pushed him several hundred meters out. Crush the tall building behind you to pieces. Bastard. What kind of combat style are you? Look at what you're guarding. A roaring roar full of anger reached Trega. He looked over. Suddenly, I was taken aback. Zhang Ren. That's right, the person who came is Zhang Ren. He threw a red key of transcendence into Trega's colored timer. In the subspace, Jinwu looked at the key of transcendence in his hand and was amazed. Then he heard Xingzhang say. Let it see what true power is. Jinwu looked at him with emotion and nodded heavily, I know. Immediately insert this key of transcendence into the Victory Light Stick. Start up. Dilasium. Seize Victory, the powerful light, Terja Ultraman. Trega's body instantly burst into a red glow, and his figure became even more robust, with the majority of the color being red. Trega, powerful type. The corner of Saint Zhang's mouth slowly rises. He has a strong opinion of Jinwu, who has taken away his qualification to transform into Ultraman. Do you think he is really kind enough to help Trega? He has figured it out now. Since you can't become Ultraman, then become the one behind the scenes. Imagine it. Trega uses the power he invents to show his divine power, and when the time comes, he will definitely be greatly admired by Jiming. When the time comes, I will stand up and lightly say that the power of Trega was developed by him. It's thanks to him that Trega can be so amazing. That name will definitely transfer the admiration to him. When the time comes, where else will there be anything about the truth of Digia? On the battlefield, Trega was feverishly sensing the surging power within his body. He feels that right now, even punching Golba is not a problem. Roar. At this moment, Carmilla charged towards him again. But this time, Trega didn't panic at all. With a punch, he twisted Carmilla's entire face in an instant, causing it to fly out like a shell, shattering countless buildings in a row. He condensed his energy in his hand and suddenly extended his palm. Dilasium optical flow. Boom. The red light instantly shot out, and Carmilla was blown into pieces. This power is simply unbelievable. Trega was extremely excited, and his face turned red with it. If there is this power on Mars, he would never be so embarrassed. Even the truth Diga is confident that he can have the power to fight. Thank you, Zhongren. Trega looked at Saint Chang. The latter smiled proudly. He can now imagine a scene where he is crazily infatuated with himself. Jia jia jia. Suddenly. My strong enemy, you are still so powerful. Above, a red, black, and silver figure fell to the ground like a shooting star. Boom. In the moment it landed on the ground, a deafening explosion was immediately heard, countless buildings tilted and collapsed with a loud bang, creating countless cracks on the ground. Thick smoke rolled and scattered like clouds, and the shock waves exploded layer by layer, causing waves and ripples to sweep in all directions. As the thick smoke dissipated, Dagong's figure appeared in everyone's sight. New memories appeared in Trega's mind. Dagong. Haha, that's right, it's me. Long time no see, Trega. Dagong rushed out without any reason. Every step he took was like triggering a magnitude 10 earthquake, which was much more terrifying than the momentum caused by Chimera. Double punch. Trega quickly welcomed him. Two pairs of fists collided, and energy ripples washed out at the contact point of their hands. The two of them retreated several tens of meters towards the back. Not bad, keep going. Dagong became even more excited. His favorite thing is the intense physical collision between men-male sign. On a rooftop not far away, a beautiful and alluring figure was quietly watching everything. Carmilla pouted and said, "TSK, it seems that Dagong guy has been sleeping for too long. His strength is not as strong as 1/3 of his peak period. Well, let me help you." She let out a cold shout, and her right hand suddenly shot a burst of red and black energy into Dagong's body. Dagong instantly felt his body filled with strength. Although it is still not as strong as when he was 30 million years ago, it is several times stronger than just now. Dagong stepped on his right foot, and a strong impact wave suddenly spread from his feet to the surrounding area, directly stepping into a huge depression. Accompanied by countless sand, dust, and gravel, it rushed up to Trega in an instant, and then grabbed his shoulders with both hands, making Trega unable to move immediately. Suddenly, Trega continuously bombarded his knees upwards. A powerful Trega, not even qualified to resist. This is not an exaggeration. When Dagong's supernatural power was almost restored in the later stages of the original work, he was even able to suppress Shining Trega simply by relying on his power. Well, that's just right. Carmilla gave a satisfied smile, full of charm. Speaking. She always felt that even if she strengthened Dagong with dark energy, her body did not feel any change. Suddenly remembered the scene of fighting against Lin Chen at home during this period. Her pretty face turned red. Presumably, this is the power brought by the nourishment of love and legend. Dagong. I'm #UN #$, I'm fighting here, you're still thinking about GHS, right? What she didn't expect was somewhere on the street. Her beloved husband, Lin Chen, was also watching everything. Mighty fighter, Dagong. Pull out a curve at the corner of your mouth. I'll take a look at your fist. In front of the cosmic phantom fist, you still have a bit of authority. After experiencing a painful blow, Trega finally found an opportunity to break free from Dagong. Quickly release the dilasium optical flow. Haha, that's great. Dagong's energy was concentrated on his fist, pulling out a brilliant light and suddenly pounding towards the ground. Flame Crusher. Dagong's strongest ultimate skill. Bang bang bang. The flame shock wave exploded from the ground like magma, rapidly spreading towards Trega. Wherever it reached, the earth was torn apart and in an instant, it exploded Trega's dilasium optical flow, then hit Trega. Ah ah ah. Trega screamed and flew backwards. The color timer has started flashing wildly. Everyone from Xinjiangren, Jiming, and even the elite victory team couldn't believe it when they saw this scene. They just saw this red form of Trega, and with just one punch, they flew Carmilla away, killing her in seconds. But now, in Dagong's hands, he hasn't even managed to hold on for a minute. This kind of strength. It's too scary, isn't it? Suddenly, Trega collapsed a tall building, and stones burst out. Not far away, Jiming was taking a little girl to the shelter and turned around. Looking at the huge stones flying towards me. She froze on the spot. His face turned extremely pale. Isn't it? Is she going to die? Name it out. Trega shouted anxiously and ran over like a madman. However, this distance is clearly too late. Just as he and Jiming were filled with despair. Bang! A golden-purple beam of light suddenly erupted, charging straight into the sky, and terrifying energy erupted, sweeping in all directions, mercilessly sweeping everything. The figure of the truth Diga appears in people's vision. Slowly raise your right hand. M87 Light. Chapter 8. This is Righteous Digia, the Power of God. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Zizizi. In an instant, a blue light burst out from the right hand of Truth Diga. Wherever he went, the blue energy fluctuated and shook the space. In the moment it was released, the people of the entire city felt as if they had come to a hot summer. Within the elite victory team, Maluru's face was trembling with fear as he pointed to the screen. The light released by the Truth Diga has reached a temperature of 870,000 degrees Celsius. Nani. Chen Saikinjai and others suddenly became extremely frightened. 870,000 degrees. What outrageous light is this? Maluru's voice was clearly transmitted to every communication device, and Saint Zhang and Jiming could naturally hear it too. Naming immediately revealed a look of admiration and joy. Righteous Diga. Did he just save himself? Real people are even more handsome than what they see on TV. If it weren't for the crowds now, she would have loved to do something else with the victory hyper gun in her hand. The M87 light, with its power penetrating through the void, swept over Dagong's body with lightning and sparks, and a powerful flame burst out in an instant. Dagong is like a red and black shell flying backwards, smashing countless buildings one after another. He climbed up from the ruins with a muffled groan, looking at the burning wound on his chest, his face bursting with unprecedented enthusiasm. Are you the Truth Diga that Carmilla said? Not bad, not bad. You are qualified to be my opponent. As he spoke, he rushed towards the Truth Diga, with every step he took causing a dent in the ground with his feet. Xinjiangren saw this scene. A cold smile in my heart. What is the use of your powerful lighting skills? Dagong's power far exceeds the powerful type he has developed. Once attacked by close range, there is no chance to release light. Look at the fist. Dagong threw a punch. Bang. A loud bang instantly sounded. But it wasn't Dagong's fist that hit Truth Diga. But it was the truth that Digia grabbed Dagong's fist with his hands. How could it be? Trega, Saint Chang, and Carmilla, even with Dagon himself, are unbelievable. Dagong's strange power is unparalleled. Guess, whose power is the red stripes on my body? As Truth Diga swung his arms vigorously and turned from the outside to the inside towards the colored timer, the golden-purple light and dark energy instantly brewed in his right hand. With his right fist, a golden-purple spiral shock wave erupted instantly. Truth explodes. Cough. Dagong felt as if a planet had hit him, and his body flew out, crashing into a large crater on the ground. How could I possibly lose to others in terms of strength? I am a tough fighter, the strongest man in ancient times. Dagong roared and stepped on the ground, creating a terrifying wave of air beneath his feet, knocking down all the houses around him. The next second, his black and red figure appeared in the sky above Righteous Diga. Punching at him from top to bottom, flames appeared on his fists due to air friction. Suddenly, the figure of righteous Diga appeared in front of Dagong like a ghost. Quietly watching him. Form a cross with both hands calmly. The blue light entwined with purple dark energy lightning burst out in an instant. Truth Sparsim light. Impacting on Dagong, countless sparks burst out, causing him to fly uncontrollably into the sky. Puff. Falling into the vast ocean thousands of meters away. Trega and others were stunned. Is this really the same person as Dagong just now? Although I have such doubts in my heart. But they know. It's not that Dagong has weakened. But it's the power of the truth Diga, far beyond Dagong. You're the first one who can push me to this extent. Dagong's figure peeked out in the sea. He burst out with crimson dark energy all over his body, as if dyeing the endless sea the same color. It is your honor to die under this blow. Flame Crusher. Dagong roared and struck the ground with his fists. Boom boom boom. Spectacular 100-meter red shock waves, like volcanic eruptions, appeared one after another from the sea surface, causing the temperature of the sea to rise sharply and even emitting a sizzling sound, heading straight towards the truth Diga. If such a blow falls to the ground, wouldn't the entire city be gone? Countless people showed despair on their faces. Jia Ming's face turns pale. Be careful, shouted Digia urgently towards truth. Carmilla looked at Dagong, who was in a state of madness, feeling somewhat helpless. This guy, although he usually looks very rational, once he encounters a powerful opponent who is evenly matched, he will become like this. Looking at the truth, Diga. I thought to myself, this guy is going to be in big trouble. Dagong's punch has vaguely taken on the appearance of 30 million years ago. I don't know how many giants died under this blow. Just, why hasn't he made any movements? Carmilla frowned. This guy, shouldn't he be scared out of his wits? Dagong burst out laughing uncontrollably. Well, don't die easily. I've been searching for opponents like you for a long time. Opponents. Righteous Diga spoke out indifferently. Although the tone is neither salty nor light. However, Dagong seemed to hear a mockery in it. Do you also deserve it? Roar. The roar of dragons and tigers suddenly sounded. On the arms of truth Diga, totems of golden white tigers and red dragons appear. Cosmic Phantom Fist. Fire Flame Red Dragon Fist. Universe Phantom Fist. Electric Shock White Tiger Fist. Waves of majestic flames and lightning surged on the body of righteous Diga, like a rushing river, surging and surging. Chia. With one punch from him. At that moment, the sky seemed to be torn apart, and a dazzling firelight entwined with golden lightning shot up from his fist, soaring straight into the clouds. The firelight quickly spread in the air, transforming into a huge dragon. The dragon's body coiled around, and the golden lightning flickered like scales, as if it were a mythical beast that had emerged from mythology. The fire dragon churned in the air, and wherever its body passed, clouds were instantly ignited, turning into a rain of fire. The fire dragon let out a deafening roar, like thunder rolling, shaking the entire city. The golden lightning arc jumped and flickered, causing circles of extremely terrifying shock waves. The layers of air waves and ripples carried countless dust and sand flying up, creating a sound that could only be described as destroying the sky and earth. With the roar of the fire dragon, a powerful flame force erupted, instantly devouring Dagong's attack and the entire sea. The sea, under the flames of the dragon, seemed to be instantly ignited. The seawater boiled and turned into rolling steam, rushing straight into the sky, complementing the dragon in the sky. The waves on the sea quickly evaporated under the scorching flames, transforming into a vast white mist, enveloping the entire sea area. It took a long time to calm down. The endless sea ahead seemed to have experienced an apocalyptic catastrophe, leaving only a scorched earth and ruins. Righteous Diga slowly lowered his arm. It's like doing a trivial thing. Trega, Carmira, and others in the elite victory team were breathing rapidly. Looking at this scene in disbelief, their heads seemed to be bombarded with thunder, buzzing and unable to think. How big is that sea? 7-seat Rikue asked blankly. Maluru's stunned response. 300,000 square kilometers. They gazed at the figure of righteous Diga. It took a long time to come to my senses. This is the true strength of the truth Diga. A divine power. P.S. Seeking flowers, evaluation tickets, monthly tickets, tipping support for one wave. Chapter 9. Zeta World Fusion. Lin holding a whip in hand. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The sea of 300,000 square kilometers was instantly evaporated. Difficult, can we say that the righteous Diga is the reincarnation of a deity? What kind of deity reincarnation? This is just a deity, right? You haven't seen Trega and Dagong, they can't do such a thing. I originally thought Dagong was already strong enough, after all, according to the records on the slate, he was one of the strongest dark giants 30 million years ago, which was a devastating disaster for humanity. However, his flame, in front of righteous Diga, was completely a candle lit for the birthday cake, right? Who said it's not? Everyone in the elite victory team feels extremely unbelievable. Including Saint Chong and Trega. At first, they actually thought that Dagong could use his supernatural power to make truth Diga eat his last. After all, it is evident how terrifying Dagong's fist is. When I saw the flame crusher released by Dagong, I was even more shocked. I only felt that it could boil the seawater, how powerful it was. It's already shocking enough. However, what? He meowed, and with a punch from truth Diga, he directly evaporated hundreds of thousands of square kilometers of the ocean. The flames of Dagong, in front of righteous Diga, are nothing but farts. And at the beginning, they saw that the M87 light released by truth Diga could reach a terrifying temperature of 870,000 degrees Celsius. I already think that's scary enough. But the flames released by this punch must be at least several million degrees Celsius, right? The expression on Saint Zhang's face now is even more uncomfortable than eating shit. He meows. This is different from what he thinks. Dagong, which is so powerful that even the powerful type of Trega cannot match. Unexpectedly killed with a punch. He felt like his face was being slapped hard now, burning with pain. He collapsed, his meowing mentality collapsed. This power completely surpasses their cognition. Trega's gaze was stunning. When he turned into a powerful type, he actually felt that he could fight against the Diga of truth. Just looking ahead at the barren land, he couldn't help but swallow a mouthful of saliva. Unconsciously starting to imagine. If this punch falls on him instantly like entering an ice cellar, I dare not continue to ponder. Is this the true strength of the truth Diga? It's really terrifying. Ding. The host gains a favored wife reward. Strength plus 22, speed plus 33. Ding. The host helps Carmilla teach incompetent subordinates a lesson, triggering a critical strike from his beloved wife with strength plus 999, speed plus 999, defense plus 999, system points plus 999, and rewards. Flame Crusher, Cosmic Phantom Fist, High-Speed Frozen Leopard Fist. Listen to the voice in your mind. Righteous Diga chuckled lightly. Is this okay? Then, the golden-purple light disappeared. Jimming's beautiful eyes emit endless fanaticism, shining brightly. Gazing at the place where the truth Diga had just stayed. I will definitely find you, righteous Diga. At this point. Another underwater location. Carmilla looked at Dagong, who was covered in scorched black and looked no different from a corpse, with only a slight energy fluctuation. Her heart still couldn't calm down. She didn't expect that even Dagong would be so easily defeated by the righteous Diga. What kind of power is that? It's completely unheard of. At the moment when the totem on the arms of truth Diga appeared, even she felt a great threat. Dagong is extremely weak. Carmilla gets more and more annoyed as she looks at it. Kicked him a few times. Shut up and honestly restore my energy. The more you look at it, the less useful it becomes. At this moment. Ding dong. Carmilla made a sound from her body. With a wave of her hand, a mobile phone immediately appeared in front of her, a text message from Lin Chen. Carmilla impatiently controlled with Otto's psychic power. Wife, where are you? Haven't you come home yet? I'm a bit hungry. Just a simple sentence made Carmilla feel numb all over, and her purple lips couldn't control a silly girl's smile. Gihihi. Dagong, lying on the ground, looked at Carmilla in confusion. I'm going back to cook. Please be honest and stay here. We'll discuss it when Hitram comes over. Speaking. Immediately turn into a red mist and disappear at the bottom of the sea. Dagong. What did he hear? Cooking. He was fooled by righteous Diga, so did he hear it wrong? Well, it must be. The multiverse is vast and infinite, and different things are happening in each universe at the same time. At the same time, another dimension. Two figures are chasing a monster in front of them that looks like a shark, with exhaust holes on its back and blue flames spraying out. It has a sharp, giant knife-like big horn on its head, fierce cosmic shark, Gene Gagu. Master Sero, wait for me. Hurry up and keep up with me. Even half of those who are hanging up like this still want to be my disciple. Half-hearted. Or 1/3. Master Sero, you're too much. That's right. They are Sero and Zeta. Because Carmilla broke the seal early, the plot of the world of Trega began early. On the other side of the universe in the Kingdom of Light, it has just been stolen by Gainaga that the Zeta sublimator and metal have been obtained. Zeta and Sero's mission is to retrieve them. Zeta said, Master Sero, I seriously suspect that there is an insider in our security department. Last time, the Zeta sublimator was stolen, and this time it's Zeta sublimator again. Speak less and do more. Just at this moment. The Gene Gagu in front opened his mouth and a planet was spit out. Are you lying? This guy can even devour planets. Sero quickly pushed Zeta away. Suddenly. Gagu once again spat out two things, which were a glowing sphere. Sero smugly wiped his nose and said, I'm not afraid. Just about to release the attack. But when he saw clearly what it was, even Sero's face changed. Bruton. Next second. Bruton's whole body shimmered with a strange light, forming a vortex of different dimensions, producing an incredibly terrifying suction. Sero quickly threw the Zeta sublimator and 3 metals at Zeta. Zeta, the task of collecting metals is up to you. Instead, they were completely engulfed by the vortex of another dimension. Master Sero. Zeta looked angrily at Gagu. Seeing him flying towards the earth ahead, he immediately chased after him. Don't try to run. As expected afterwards. After a series of changes. Zeta and Yaohui are one heart and one mind. Yaohui, let's go. Bus. Just as they were planning to charge towards Gagu. Suddenly. A wormhole was instantly torn open in the sky. Nanny. Zeta looked up in shock. Next second. The wormhole is like extending an invisible hand, bringing Zeta and Gagu into it, and then instantly closing and disappearing. What exactly is this situation? Inside the arsenal. Shakura Shota, to be precise, it should be Gagula, looking at the surveillance footage in shock. And the mastermind behind all of this. But he knows nothing about it. Husband, I'm back. Uzaka Jean eagerly pushed open the door. And then you see. Lin Chen held a whip in his hand and stared at himself with a playful smile. I can't help but think of what Lin Chen said yesterday, and Uzaka Jin's breathing suddenly became rapid. P.S. Attached is a picture of Ka Jia Mei in the bottom right corner. The chapters posted by the author are usually 3,000 words, surpassing others by 2 chapters. We only hope that everyone can have a happy reading. For the sake of the author's dedication, we hope that everyone can have a wave of flowers, evaluation tickets, monthly tickets, rewards, and more support. Chapter 10. Absolute Destruction. Uzaka Jin didn't brush. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Kamasaka Kane stared at Lin Chen and the whip in his hand. To be honest. After hearing what Lin Chen said yesterday, she always dreamed of such scenes at night. Every time she got up, she had to secretly change her clothes. But she dare not tell Lin Chen. I'm afraid Lin Chen might mistake her for a pervert. She must be a perfect and gentle wife in front of Lin Chen. But now, Lin Chen actually took the initiative to take out a whip. Can it be said that my husband saw my inner thoughts? Uzaka Jin's heart was restless and she began to look forward to it. I just called your company, but your female secretary said you're not there. Lin Chen said with a smile. He certainly knew that Uzaka Jin had turned into Carmilla observing in the dark, so he wasn't in the company. Just. Occasionally teasing my wife like this is quite nice. Can it be considered a little bit of romance between husband and wife? Upon hearing what he said, Uzaka Jin immediately panicked. Husband, listen to my explanation. Actually, I had something up my sleeve and wanted to go out. I really didn't mean to deceive you. You know, I won't hide anything from you. If you don't believe me, I can show you my heart. She is really afraid that her image in Lin Chen's mind may not be good at all. Lin Chen didn't expect Uzaka Jin's reaction to this to be so strong. He quickly walked over and hugged Uzaka Jin, saying, "Of course I know. Isn't this just for fun?" If he doesn't say that. According to my wife's crazy criticism of her personality, I estimate she will really show him her heart. However, Lin Chen's words changed and he pinched up Sakashi's chin, staring directly at her with a shy expression. You didn't tell me in time, it's a bit naughty. I need to punish you well. Kamasaka Jin asked nervously and eagerly. How to punish? Lin Chen picked up the whip in his hand and jokingly smiled, what do you think? Omitting 1 million words of VIP unlocking content here a few hours later. Lin Chen sat on the sofa with Uzaka Jin in his arms, watching TV. Suddenly. Ding. The host has satisfied his wife's little hobby and triggers a critical strike of pet wife, with strength plus 999, speed plus 999, defense plus 999, and system points plus 999. The reward is absolute destruction. As the host's strength increases to a certain level, it will unlock the limit of absolute destruction. Lin Chen suddenly sat up from the sofa. What's wrong with you, husband? Are you feeling unwell? Said Kamasaka Jinru in a soft voice, not entirely because of her gentle tone. She really doesn't have the strength to speak normally. It's okay. Lin Chen suppressed his inner excitement. Look at the reward you've received. Absolute destruction. This is the strongest kill of the ultimate life form Tartaros. The power was so stunning that when it first appeared, it brought shock to all Olympic fans. One shot of absolute destruction, directly knocking Gauss, Jastes, Eddie, Neas, and Severn 21 to the ground. Among them, Gauss and Justice are even in future mode and crushing mode. The second time you use it, you will directly force out Regarder, one of the mysterious 4 Aos. For the third time, in a confrontation with the ultimate radiant form of Sero, he directly returned to normal from this form and suffered serious injuries. Just when the fans thought he would definitely eat out afterwards. Tartaros achieved absolute destruction with just one shot, and directly defeated the Galaxy Victory, Beta Spark Armor Ikes, Trinity Ob, and Rob, all 4 ultimate Aos, lying on the ground. In the online drama of Regulus, he can't stand up with just one blow as he has just finished playing and gained the power of the cosmic phantom fist. In the end, in Silver Grid 3, an extreme and absolute destruction was unleashed, leaving the snow, including the ultimate glory sailor, powerless, watching the light fall and waiting to die. If it weren't for the appearance of the ultimate king, Sero and his companions will surely perish there. Finally, it forced the King of Ut to appear. Even after a brief confrontation with the King of Ultras, he finally blasted the wormhole out forcefully. This is just one skill, directly forcing two mysterious 4-Ows to appear. The only villain in this treatment is probably the Dark Lucifer, which only exists in the abolition case, right? Force the grid to pull it full. Unexpectedly, there was also an unexpected joy. In addition, after defeating Dagong just now, I obtained the same master level high-speed frozen leopard fist. Great! Unable to resist, Lin Chen gave a kiss to Kamasaka Jin's face. However, this kiss suddenly remembered that when the battle had just ended, Uzaka Jin helped him clean up, as if he had not had time to brush his teeth yet. Hush! My husband hates it. Saying this, Uzaka Jin found the curve at the corner of her mouth even more difficult to suppress than Pelio's light line, and she felt immense satisfaction in her heart. This kind of life. I really hope it will continue well, I will definitely do it. But there are always people who don't know how to look at their eyes. On the large screen of the square, a video of today's victory of righteous Diga over Dagong is playing. The evaporated sea area. It has attracted countless people from all over the country to watch, take photos and check in. Nothing else. These people all feel that this is the place where the truth Diga has stayed, leaving behind a fairy aura. If he takes more breath, he will become longevity. A yellow-haired man wearing a windbreaker looked at this barren land. Eyebrow furrowed, both fists clenched tightly. If he could gain such powerful power, he would definitely be able to kill that guy Hitram. Several days have passed. Lin Chen accompanied Shang Banjin and spent a sweet newlywed life, not feeling happy. Within the elite victory team. Ah, truth Diga, he. Jimming sat in his own seat, looking at the picture of Truth Diga on the screen, and emitting a silly girl-like smile. Saint Zhang's teeth are itching. I feel like I'm the protagonist in some kind of VIP unlocked little movie. But unfortunately, naming has nothing to do with him. This is even more infuriating. Wait, righteous Diga, next time you appear again, I must use that newly developed power to shock you all. Saint Zhang secretly thought in his heart. Ding! 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 Detected severe fluctuations in time and space. The alarms suddenly sounded. Jian Wu and others immediately became vigilant and looked at the surveillance footage. Under their incredible gaze, the sky was like shattered glass, with numerous cracks appearing, followed by a pitch-black wormhole suddenly cracking. A massive figure fell to the ground, creating a huge depression in the city center, causing dust and smoke to rise everywhere. People were frantically fleeing like ants on a hot pot. Maluru exclaimed in shock, "That's the ferocious cosmic shark, Gainagagu." P.S. The picture shows absolute destruction, seeking support from flowers, evaluation tickets, monthly tickets, rewards, and reminders.